Hey guys, and welcome back to another video on the RoBuilder YouTube channel. Today, part 2 of rating builds because, yeah, there was just a lot. And I don't think anyone wants to spend an hour watching us rate builds. We're back with the guest. How you doing, man?
Doing well, how are you?
Pretty good. Now, guys, what was that one comment we got last time? If it's not shaded smooth, they don't like it.
Yeah.
I want to take a moment to address that. That was not the main point. It was simply mixing stuff. If it's shaded smooth on like borders and then shaded flat on like rocks or something, you know, it doesn't look right. They don't mesh well together. So if you're gonna shade smooth, yes, most things shade smooth. If you're gonna shade flat, everything shade flat. I think that was the main thing we were trying to note. But we're gonna hop in. We got this one right here, bro. Cake Gingerbread House Trees, a simulator map. Here we go. How you feeling?
Ooh, I mean, from the little bit that we can see of it,
I want to say it was 100% made in studio. The borders and everything.
You can definitely say that. You can almost tell that it was 100% made in studio. I will say that like I don't like using the cubes as like the leaves of trees. I've never particularly cared for that style. However, I will say that with like the little bit of transparency on it, I don't 100% hate it. Yeah,
I definitely think this is like one of the better uses that I've seen for cube leaves. I don't really like the cube aesthetic overall. Unless it's super 8-bit style, I kind of like that. But I think this looks okay for being built in studio. This I don't know. This texture, the material, the grass material up here, throwing me off. Even though I know that this is grass, but it's throwing me off. And this is a massive slice of cake. I don't know what it's for, but dang.
Giant piece of cake.
Giant piece of cake.
I will give it I'll give it a 5.
I was at a 3 in my head. I think it's cool. It's very flat and it's empty. Like, I feel like if this is what you're showing us, this is the most busy part of the map. Like, no one takes a screenshot of the emptiest part of their map. So I think you just need to add more stuff to it. And maybe a lighter roof than the sides because, you know, it would help. Oh, is this in Bloxburg, bro? I made a big mansion in Bloxburg. Took me ages. Tried to recreate in studio. Wait, is this recreated in studio? It's so far away.
It's so tiny. That's so tiny.
Oh wow, that didn't help.
No.
Okay, so it's very small image. You do have
This is all on you because I can't see it any closer.
Okay, so. Okay. You do have the blocky trees, which I'm not a fan of. Overall, from what I can see, the house looks awesome. Looks like you have multiple shades of gray, which makes it look not as flat. Very nice. I like it overall. I can't give it an awesome rating because the picture itself is just small and a little grainy. Let's go, I'm gonna go like a 6. It looks like it'd be really good, but I want to see it closer. I'd probably give it an 8 if I could see it closer, but for now I'm going 6. Up next, we have a GFX. I don't even rate GFX. This is called rating your builds. Who accepted this? His name is Tax Evasion. Yeah, I don't know how to rate GFX because I don't know what all goes into them, so I'm just gonna skip over that. It looks cool though. All right, here we go, man. Low poly house. How you feeling about it?
I like the use of the rooftop, like the roof shingles.
Yes.
I actually enjoy the fact that they're not just like solid slabs, so that's a nice little change up. I do enjoy that. I'm curious if there's like an entry to the house, and maybe we're just not seeing that side.
On the other
like there's
side.
some stairs going up to like a door. I mean, other than that, I mean, for what it is, I'll give it a 6.
Yeah, I was about to say a 6 too. I think up here, this is usually a wooden beam as well for this style. And I don't know, it looks kind of smushed together. I think there's not a lot of room for anything on this build to breathe. I think that's what I'd have to say. So I'm at a 6 as well. Up next, oh, this is the one I got so excited for yesterday. Oh my gosh, this looks incredible. I love this with everything in my mind and heart. This reminds me of the Revelation Zombies map on Call of Duty Black Ops 3. I'm at a 10 out of 10. I don't even care. I love this.
I could definitely see the map reference. The only thing that I would say that would keep me from giving it a 10 is just it's hard to get a sense of scale. Like either that's a really small cart or a giant mushroom.
Dude, I gotta go 10 out of 10. Like, for me personally, this map, like, I would buy this map. If you were selling this map, I would buy it and make a game out of it. I love it. 10 out of 10, what are you giving it?
I give it a 9.8.
All right, yeah, this is definitely making the thumbnail though. All right, up next, it looks like we have a home store type metro. Okay, so, wait, I gotta see if they said they used free models or not. Yes, train. Ooh. All right. Yeah, I mean, it looks like a train station. I don't really know what to say on this one. Oh, yeah. Wait, this is your... Is this rack your home store, or is there more? Oh no. All right, what are you thinking?
If the clothing rack is like the only thing to the shop,
it's kind of sad.
I mean, I'm gonna definitely have to say that it's probably, yeah. I mean, the train's a free model asset, and then like you built a couple of walls, threw up a beam or two.
They didn't go flat on the walls. It looks like.
Yeah, they've got some. Nice. They've got some depth to it, which is
nice. I'm going a 4 overall.
I was gonna say 4 as well.
All right. Hey, the clothes can get a 7 though. They look pretty cool. I don't know. Whoa, what is this? This is a simulator game where you go around clicking rocks to gain currency. Okay, so it does not look done. Bro, you type in so loud. It does not look done. It literally, yeah, it looks like the bare minimum you could have for a simulator. You have a shop over here, I'm guessing, and a cell right here, and then the rocks you collect. But it doesn't look like it has any map or anything like that. So I'm gonna go like a 2. How you feeling?
I'm also, I mean, obviously it looks like they may not even be rocks necessarily. They look like, based off the skybox, I would think they're more like asteroid collecting.
Could be.
I give it a 2 as well.
All right. Up next, we got a security force outpost for my upcoming game. Made it look more realistic rather than detailed. Wait, made to look more realistic rather than detailed. Wait, what? I don't think this makes sense. I don't know. Anyways, I think it looks awesome.
I dig it. From what I can tell, I mean, the lighting's low enough that there could be, since they said that they're not looking more so into detail, but into realism, which in a sense I get what they're saying. The low lights could hide things like imperfections and things like that. But yeah. I mean, for what it is in the setting that it is, I give it a 7.
Yeah, I'm at about a 9 for this one. I like the lighting on it. I like the skybox, this little fade out. I mean, that could just be Roblox, but I like it nonetheless. And I think it looks pretty good. So let's move on. Whoa, what do we got here? Nothing much, just a lunar project I'm working on. All right, is this terrain is meshes, isn't it?
It looks like it very well could be.
It looks like it'd be a mesh, but also like kind of looks like Roblox. I wish we'd seen more of this. I feel like this is the focal point of here.
It could be, but it could also be to kind of show scale.
I'm going a 5 on this one. I don't really know why. I don't think I could give it a higher score. I want more stuff on the ground maybe. Like some craters or something.
My issue is that it's hard to tell without like any description of it. It's hard to tell what the focus is. Like, yeah. Are we supposed to be focusing on the landscape, or are we supposed to be focusing on the large scale ship? I'm gonna give it a 4.5.
All right. Up next, okay. So first things first. I do not rate builds that are not done. As you can see, all pink spots are placeholders, and hey, I can tell they watch my videos because I made a video about this, and I make everything pink for placeholders. Very cool. Your texture on the ground is way too big and way too dark. So transparency up on this texture and make it smaller. I think that'll look a lot better and make your map feel like it's bigger. But I'm not gonna rate the build since it's not done. You got anything to say about it?
Nope, you covered pretty much everything that I would have mentioned.
All right, let's go. Ooh, a fantasy world. Yo, people are killing it on the fantasy world stuff.
It's true, they definitely are. I definitely dig the the caterpillar.
Roblox textures on low poly objects.
Yeah, there is that, but the caterpillar itself, like, I'm digging, even though it's just like basic spheres. It's a good concept using like primitive shapes. I would say that to a degree though, it like contrasts with the complexity of like the teapot. Yeah. And like the lantern, like those look like they had a lot more detail put into them. Did they use any kind of asset packs or anything at all? No, it says no.
Yeah, no asset or no free models. Did you use any asset packs? Roblox Nature Pack for bugs.
For bugs, okay.
Let's go to this next shot as well. Ooh, I like this one a lot more.
I do like that one a lot more. I would definitely say, based off of this screenshot, I would say an 8.
Yeah, I was about the 7 or 8 as well. I don't like the textures. Like these on your branches, I don't think using Roblox materials is the best way to do it. There's so many texture packs out there in the toolbox and like throughout Twitter, dev forum, everything like that you could find way more fitting textures for this style of a build. But I'm at about a 7 or an 8 for this one. Ooh, what do we got here? I'm gonna skip just to this last shot here. We have an asset pack I made for my first map. All right, so it looks like a sort of a medieval mining type vibe we're going for.
Yeah. Go to the second screenshot.
But
yeah, I was just wanting to kind of get some close-up details on like the building. So yeah, I mean you've got like the blacksmithing area and everything like that. I do like the attention to the detail. Like it looks like there's a sword leaning up against the forge,
as well as then something here.
Yeah, there's something actually in the forge. The attention to detail in it, even though it's still like a low poly build, I dig that. Just from a design perspective. So I'm personally gonna give it an 8.
I'm gonna give this a 6, and reasoning behind that, I don't like how everything is using the same texture. For example, the ground is the same color as the fireplace same color as the stairs, the door frame same color as the wall. I think if you kind of use some different shades of gray and black, it would bring this a lot more to life and make it feel like there's more detail than there is. But yeah, I do like how this looks like it's sort of still on really hot.
Yeah.
All right, up next we got a little gun. This looks fun. It looks like a toy gun. It doesn't, if you're going for realism, that's not really hitting it, but
I was about to say it looks like an M1911.
Would you look at that? A1. Yeah, it looks really good. It does look like it's more for a fun party type game instead of like a realistic shooter, so hopefully that's what you were going for. I'm gonna give this I'm gonna say a 7.
I would have given it like an 8.5. The only problem I have with it is you've definitely got some issues along the grip,
like
the wooden grip. Yeah,
I didn't know if that was just texturing or not.
No, that looks like it's actually an issue with the model itself.
Oh,
because you can see it on the back side.
Oh, and
as well.
Up here as well.
Yeah. That's the only thing that was keeping me from giving it like an 8.5. That's gonna bump it down to a 7 for me.
All right, up next we got a sword, and all right, let me see. The Crucible from Doom, except a little bit of freestyle. I like how you worded that. Definitely like how you worded that. Okay. First things first, it looks like all the detail went to down here, and then the top was just like, I want to finish. That's kind of what it looks like to me.
I can definitely see that. I think it's mainly too, a lot of the detail didn't get thrown into it because they knew that they were going to throw a neon shader on it.
It could be.
With it cranked.
But even like the top here, like there's nothing really here.
There's a lot of detail fall off towards the top of the hilt of the sword. Size-wise, how do you feel about like the size of it?
I just think that that's what they were going for. Like a very unproportional, like, yo, this thing's gonna mess up whoever comes in contact. Of course, if we were going for realism, which we're not, because we have a neon sword, it would be a two-handed sword because this is massive. But I think that's exactly what they were going for. Just a massive sword.
I did too. I just wanted to see your thoughts on it.
I'm gonna go overall a 6. I think you'd get a higher score. It just really looks like you spent all your time down here and then 0 time up here.
I was gonna go with a 5.5. So yeah.
All right, we right there, man. We be thinking alike. A little golf cart, working golf cart as well. So we don't really rate scripts or anything, and we don't have a GIF. But for the golf cart itself, we both do 3D models, so we can definitely see what we think. First off, the angles of this, horrible. I feel like we got some really bad angles of this golf cart.
Yeah, I'll agree. The main issue that I have here, as far as like from a modeling standpoint,
no front axle.
There's no axle. Like you have the center of the wheel well, which has like where it would actually mount onto like the axle, but then you have no axle.
No axle. Do we have one in the back? Okay, you did cover up the back. You wouldn't even need an axle if you kind of extruded the front here, so it comes down between these. But yeah, definitely, it just looks like it's hovering right now. So I would definitely add an axle.
I mean, that's my only qualm with it. Maybe a little bit of thickness around like the outside edge of the rim before it gets to the tire.
Yeah.
Just to kind of signify, hey, this is like where the rim ends and where the tire begins.
I would like to see a bit of rounding to the back. Like we rounded the front with a bevel, but the back is just a square cut. That's kind of throwing me off a little bit. It wouldn't have to be as harsh, of course, but just something maybe. just to ease the edge.
Just from like a design concept too, for anything that's like hard surface, like a golf cart or like any kind of like object, you don't want those sharp angles, because sharp angles don't exist in real life. Even though you're going for the low poly look, you can still add a little bit of a bevel to those corners, because if I were to walk up to that and touch that, I'm going to cut my hand open on it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go a 4 on this one.
I'm gonna go a 4.5.
Okay. Oh, we got a cartoon Barrett 50 cal. Wait, what is this?
The Shy Pack Intervention.
Oh, now that I'm opening it, it's most definitely not a Barrett 50 cal. I just saw this and assumed Barrett, but nope. Definitely looks like an intervention now that I'm opening it, looking at the stock and everything like that. And it looks like it's tune shaded as well.
It is. I mean, so width of the weapon looks fairly accurate. It doesn't look like it's overly thick. Handholds, everything like that. The grip looks like it would be uncomfortable to hold.
Hurtful.
And then like the back towards like the shoulder padding is a little kind of like
blocky,
rough. But I mean, other than that, so kind of give a little bit of a background real quick. I do a lot of hard surface and weapon modeling and stuff like that. So this is my area. The length of the barrel is good, like proportionally to the size. The scope itself looks good. The ejection chamber, which is on the right side of the weapon there above the magazine, that looks like the way it's extruded, it just looks weird. Other than that, I'm gonna give it a 9.5.
Yeah, I was at an 8.5 for this one. I think I want to see like just a bit more color variation. It's all one color, so that's all I would change. Up next, we got a little cafe here. Let's see. Wow, it's very dark. I will say that. Wait, is this a cafe? Wait, okay. Cafe build with a subway. A bike mesh. Wait. Oh, the bike is the free model. Okay. I can't really tell what's going on, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell, especially on the outside area. Now, as far as like in the subway, the subway interior looks good. I mean, I like the placement of lights and everything like that. The subway car itself seems a little small.
Bro, I'll be honest with you, because I just had to make a subway for a game that I'm working on, and they just seem small, because you have to, I don't even know. You have to have the tracks underground, like down below the surface, but then all the subways are like, you don't want your wheelbase like 10 feet tall, so it's just kind of weird. All of them seem small though to me. But yeah, overall, I'm gonna give this a 7, because this looks really good, so I'm sure the inside of this does as well, but I just can't really see it.
I was gonna give it around a 7.5, so yeah.
Alright, up next, oh gosh. Alright, so you guys know that we are not a fan of the blocky trees and overall, but yeah, let's see. How you feeling on this?
This one, as far as this one, I can let slide just a little bit, because as far as like stylization on the trees, it's more Minecraft-esque. Yeah. It's not so much as like just a poly modeled like trunk, and then the leaves are just like rotated boxes.
Yeah.
It gives more of like a pixelized style effect, and that I kind of dig. I can let.
Oh
that slide.
Yeah, they even have them down here on the.
Yeah,
the
that's what I was gonna say. Is I noticed it on the plants and stuff too. So that's super cool to me. Did they use any kind of asset packs or anything like that?
Some free model meshes.
Some free model meshes. It would be nice to know like what model meshes were free.
I want to imagine it's going to be a castle asset pack, simply because the trees and the grass, like all of the sort of style, like 8-bit sort of type things, blocky, does not at all match the castle. Like this flag up here, for example, is probably one of them. And they just don't match this overall aesthetic. In fact, if they used trees that were like sort of like Dev for Hire, his tree style would go awesome on this type of a map. I think, yeah, I think
that's what I was thinking as well. Is that it's just the mix match between the assets. Like I feel like I'm slowly walking in from like Minecraft,
yeah,
into
like Skyrim or something.
Yeah.
All right. Overall, only reason I'm marking this one down a bit, I'm gonna say a 5, is because it just doesn't match itself. The castle looks, more detailed, and then these are very not as detailed.
I was gonna say a 5.8, just because I do dig the low pixel style, and I like the fact that it's transitioned over into like the small plants and everything like that. Yeah. The only thing that's keeping it from going higher for me is the transition from where the details like they don't match.
Yeah.
The stylization between the two is like way off base.
Sick. All right, what do we got here? One is a theater and the other is a home store. Theater itself, We're just judging the theater. Doesn't look like you really did too much around it yet, but yeah, I mean, I think it looks pretty good. I don't have any problems.
The theater is awesome. It kind of favors one of the theaters that's here downtown. So I mean, detail, like there's a lot of attention to detail around like the awnings over the windows and everything like that. From like what we can tell from this angle, I do like the fact that you've got the posters and everything.
Yeah.
It does look like it's the same poster though.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again. I would make sure you go in, swap up those details a little bit on those particular like decals. That way you've got some variation. But other than that, I mean, I think it looks good. I like the usage of like your rope constraints and everything there. The lights could definitely be illuminated since it's dark. I mean, I know that you have the marquee lights on, the yellow lights around the awning there, but you do have the larger lights around the building. I feel like those could be on. But other than that, I'm going to give the theater aspect of it, I'm going to give it an 8.
Yeah, I was about at a 7 or 8 as well. Let's see. Up next, we got this home store. Oh, okay. I don't like the trees. And I don't like how the bushes are not sunk into the ground. That's throwing me off. Like, they're just kind of spheres sitting on top of the ground. I like the vegetation on the side of the building. That looks pretty cool. And I think the building itself, since it has all this vegetation, needs to look a little older. Maybe have like some cracks in the walls, stuff like that. I think it would help look a lot better.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say that clearly there's a little bit of ivy like over building and everything. Like, clearly it hasn't been upkept 100%. So like some darker tonage on it would be really, really good for it. The trees are, in my personal opinion, those have got to go. Different trees would fit much better here.
Yeah.
Especially since your ivy that's on your building is a much more realistic, not necessarily realistic, but in comparison to the trees is a much more realistic vegetation. You would need your surrounding trees and bushes and everything else to match that aesthetic, or else it looks out of place.
So on this one, I think I'm gonna give it a 4.
I was gonna say that I was gonna give it around a 3.8. So yeah.
All right, dang, we'd be like on it, man. We'd be on it. All right. Oh, this is very small, but I like it. Hold on, something random I just made. For what it is, like everything fits together well. You see, guys, he didn't shade smooth and shade flat. Like it's all pretty much shade flat. Like it just looks better. I'm giving this an 8.
Given that it is just a kind of small, random, like thrown together section. I mean, the attention to details there, the torches and everything look proportionate to the post, because they're supposed to be like this grand torch that's on this entryway. I like the variation in the border rocks there. And I do like the fact that there's variation in the land tiles there as well. So it's not just like flat edges. It adds a little bit of character to it. I'm gonna give it a 7.6.
All right. Ooh, we got a car. I can't even rate cars, dude. I tried to make a car once and it looked mad. So let's see. Best car model I've made: Nissan GTR. What you think about it?
I mean, you can definitely tell that it's a Nissan GTR. I feel like the front grille could use just a tiny bit of work. The intakes on the hood cover look good. You can tell that there's a little bit of depth to them. I would say that the side mirrors are just a little small.
I would love to see the shade smooth. I'm sorry, I had to say it.
As far as like your exhaust and everything, the exhaust pipes could be a little bit thicker. They could have a little bit of a solidification to them.
For sure.
That way they don't look paper thin. Because to me, that looks like as soon as exhaust comes out, they're just going to melt and fall off.
Have a little bevel on the tires here.
Yeah, just a little bit, something to kind of round the tires off just a little tiny bit. Otherwise, you're Flintstoning it through. But other than that, I mean, it looks good.
I would love to see shade smooth and auto smooth on this. It would get rid of like all of these, like all this. You could see everything here. It would just look so much cleaner. Yeah,
the other thing that it definitely needs is on the front side of the car where the A-pillars are, so like where the windshield is, there's supposed to be supports there. The glass doesn't like wrap around the front. So there needs to be some kind of like division. It looks like you might have tried to at some point add some division there just because you've got some hard lines there. But then it looks like you just said, screw it, and then went back and just add the glass texture to what you had there.
Yeah, I would just grab, I'm assuming there's faces on both sides of this, so I would just grab both of those faces and then Alt-E, extrude along face normals, and then recolor them to the body of the car, and then just shape them so they mesh well with, going into here and then into the top.
Yep.
All right. Oh, yeah, what did you want to give this? Kind of skipped that.
I will give it I'm gonna give it a 7.
I was at a 6. I definitely, dude, just imagine Shade Smooth and Auto Smooth. You'd get rid of all of these lines here. It would look so good. Looks so good. All right, up next, my first simulator map ever. First things I want to say. Oh wait, there's most definitely an asset pack. Did you use asset packs? None. Is this not the ICDev egg container? No, I know this, like, cause this shop isn't an asset pack. I'm pretty sure. Like, okay, I think you did use asset packs. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
If you didn't use asset packs and you did originally create, or like you did create assets, you created them in a very, very like manner to an asset pack.
I'm pretty sure these are Exodus trees. Synody, I think that was his name. He made this building. ICDev made these egg holders. And I gotta think it's an asset pack just because some things you have super smoothed out, which I personally am not a fan of because that reflection. And then some things you have very flat. So that's all I'm gonna say. But for a first map, I think you did pretty good. I'm going 6. No, 5. I'm going 5 because I think you lied to me.
I'm gonna give it a 5 as well.
All right, up next. Oh my gosh, this is all you, my guy. It's a museum I was commissioned to make. The person I made it for is going to use it to show off lore for his group. Okay. Wow.
And it does show that there is a 3D model. They purchased the statue. So the statue they didn't make. So okay. I'm gonna keep that in mind. As far as the environment itself, I think it looks pretty dope. There's good scale separation between like the lower floor area and the upper floor area. Given that the room kind of has the low poly shape to it, the only like thing that bothers me is, yeah, the statue is huge and it's supposed to be huge, but the flower beds around the bottom of it look really
out of place.
Yeah, they look, well, not so much out of place. They look like they're way too small. I feel like the base that the statue is on needs to be a little bit bigger, unless the intent is for you to be able to like walk up onto the platform and like walk around the very bottom of the statue.
Yeah.
Most statues that you see in real life are on some form of like larger pedestal to add that separation. But that's like my only qualm with it. I would definitely have to say that I give it a
6.
I'm gonna say a 6.5. I would rate it higher if you had also made the statue yourself.
Yeah, that is a thing. I don't know if that's like frowned upon or not, buying assets and then using them in a commission. I'm not sure if that's frowned upon or not. So, oh no, I'm gonna skip over. I ain't trying to get canceled or nothing. Church type thing. They used a nature kit and a mesh of the statue. I love this, how the lights come in here. That's awesome.
Yeah, I do like how like the God rays are done for the windows. I don't see the statue. Yeah, I don't see it either. I also don't see any bit of a nature kit that they may have used because there's no nature inside the building. So let's just say that they built everything we see in these screenshots because I don't see anything, the statue nor the nature kit. Okay, I mean, so the only issue that I have with it is, for the most part, it looks like, you built one section
and then just doop
and then just copy paste duplicated it, which I mean works for a lot of like older interiors and things like that. I was about to say, go back to the screenshot. It's hard to tell if there may be variation in the windows. I don't think there is.
I don't think so.
So in that regard, I'm gonna have to give it a 4.
I'm gonna go a 5. There we go. Oh snap, we got some swords. This is actually the last thing, and we're just over 30 minutes for this one as well. So a set of weapons I made for a game of my friends: scythe, knife, big sword, spear, and gloves. Wow, I think they look pretty sick.
I think they look pretty sick as well. I feel like maybe the handle on the sword could be a little bigger.
Yeah, it looks heavy, very top heavy.
I mean, it does kind of look like Cloud's sword. And I know like the base of that sword is quite large. Cloud from Final Fantasy, for those of you that don't know. The rest of it, I mean, I think it looks dope. I'm gonna give it a 9.
Yeah, I was about at an 8 for this one. I think it looks really cool. I love how you didn't just neon this whole blade. You gave like the black part as well. That's very nice. And this one looks like you kind of overdid the neon a little bit, but overall Yeah, I'm at an 8 for this. I think it looks pretty good, and I want to know what this is in this bottom corner. That's it. But guys, that is going to wrap up today's video, the part 2 of rating fan builds. That's the first time we've ever had to make a 2-part. It was just too long. But if you did enjoy and you want to see more content like this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day. Later.